And so I learned from that, like, losing doesn't mean you're losing. Like, I still got what I wanted. I still got to be an assistant.
Yeah.
Like, learning.
Trying is not failing.
Yeah.
And staying consistent is going to get you much farther than any sort of titles.
Yeah, and awards. Like, sometimes they don't even mean anything.
Welcome to No Substitutes, the show where I have some of my favorite people on and I talk about which ingredients make them who they are. And today I have a very special guest. We met through Lobos, so she is a fellow Lady of Lobos. She's in Star Wars, which the fact that I could say I have a friend who's in Star Wars is enough for me. So she's a stunt double, an actress, fighter, ballerina, and just all around very warm, loving person. Please welcome Chau Naumova. No, I almost want to say pneumonia. Naumova. Sorry.
Hello. Pneumonia's new. I don't mind.
That's not her last name. I need to start learning my friends' last names. This has happened too many times now. So, that's bad.
I'll keep it.
Okay.
Let's just change it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I should have just said Viking Panda.
Viking Pandas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best, which we will get into that later in the podcast, why that's her nickname. How was the drive over?
Good.
Yeah? How was your day? Did you do any boxing?
No boxing. I was at a fitting. I know, right? I was at a fitting, and I've never had this happen before, but they, like, put me in a wig cap. They need to, like, make a 3D skull cap for something that I'm going to do.
Okay.
So that was new. That was fun.
What was that for?
Something.
Okay, can't talk about that yet.
Just something.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a cool way to get into acting. I mean, like Jackie Chan and other people, like stunts and then acting. And then you can just also get paid to do your own stunts eventually. That just sounds like, I don't know, I'd be too scared to break my face, but
that's definitely a fear. Yeah. That's a factor.
Have you ever been caught on fire?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I can't do it. I can't do stunts.
On purpose and on accident.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, I'm never going to do stunts. Never mind. I thought just from training a little bit from boxing, I'm like, I could do this. But no.
I'll be honest, fire is like one thing. Like, now that I've done it, I'm like, I don't need to do that again. I'm okay.
Yeah. I have another friend that I met through adult industry, and that's what he wants to start doing is stunts.
Okay.
But that's what he's always doing.
Wow.
He's catching himself on fire.
No. Yeah.
He caught his thing on fire, too, on purpose. I was like, why did you do that? Anyways.
To each their own.
Okay, well, let's just get into it. What are 3 ingredients you would say that make up your profession?
3 ingredients.
Mm-hmm. Not chicken, just, qualities, if you may.
I would say bravery, trust, and the ability to adapt quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cojones.
Yeah.
Big cojones. Yeah. Those are good ones. You would do great in the kitchen.
Oh, really? I think
Have you
that's
ever
too
worked?
stressful.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get, like, yelled at, right? No?
Working with fire, I mean, that's another
that's what
place.
You're doing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, that's the only place where I ever worked with fire, and I never felt like I was going to catch myself on fire, but it's definitely like, I don't know, I love any job where you have to adapt.
Yeah.
So
it's like a game.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
a challenge.
Exactly. If you can keep your cool during that, you feel almost like superhuman.
Yeah.
Especially if you can stay cool and then also keep other people cool.
Yeah.
It's a great quality to have.
Definitely.
What does your diet consist of now to meet your fitness goals? Because I remember recently when you were training for Lobos, I think it was for your fight that you were doing. You were trying to gain weight or maybe lose weight, but I feel like anytime I see you, it's like one or the other.
Well, yeah, definitely. At first, like my first 2 fights, what the goal was to lose weight.
Okay.
But my last 2 fights, which it was a blessing, was that I was underweight. Like I was still within the weight class, but I was just maintaining weight. And so the goal was just to eat healthy and eat comfortably.
What does that diet consist of usually?
Now I just make my entire diet. A lot of meat, a lot of steak, like veggies, like good. But a little bit like tomatoes and avocado will be dinner, and just eggs and like meat patties, sometimes
so rice. Like high protein?
Yeah.
High protein, okay.
I guess close to a carnivore diet, but I still like veggies. I still like salad. I still,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I'll try that sometime. What is scarier to you, acting or boxing?
Scarier?
Or like, I don't know, I'm like, I've seen you do both and you seem pretty confident in both, so I don't know.
Yeah, I guess both for different reasons, right? Like boxing is like physical pain. Like you could, you're signing up to, for the possibility of getting knocked out, right? Yeah. And acting, it's like maybe just make a fool of yourself or.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're both very humbling careers.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah, you can't bullshit these.
No. I saw the video of you when you won your last fight. And that clip, you didn't even realize you won.
Oh, God. Yeah.
You're like, oh.
There was some confusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that. Was it, do you ever like black out during a fight? Or is it just more you just didn't realize?
The reason why I was confused was because they stopped it. So it didn't go the full 3 rounds.
You didn't like knock her out.
It's a technical knockout.
Okay.
So like usually there's 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And in the first round I knocked her down, and then the second round there were 3 standing 8s, and by then they have to call it a technical knockout.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I thought I was like, was she just like seeing red?
I mean,
but you also are just such a sweet, gentle person that I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, do you ever have to like pull some angst out of that? Or are you like, I don't know. I always feel like you and Eddie are the same, where like you're just both so zen.
I think he puts it best. Like, I don't know if he mentioned it on your podcast, but he says that people that are like super kind have the exact same depth the other way. Like the capacity for violence is like, it meets the same. So if you're just a little nice, you're a little mean, but like, it balances out. So I think that's why it's healthy to do something like boxing, because you can legally, safely, it's the appropriate place to be violent.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think maybe everything that maybe I suppress comes out in a fight of like.
Yeah. It's almost like it helps you compartmentalize it. Compartmentalize.
Yes.
I feel like when I started doing boxing with Eddie, that's how I felt. Like even
you had somewhere to put your
even like days where I felt like more lethargic, he'd be like, nope, just come in, hit the bag
and use it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Like whether you're feeling more low energy or higher energy, I feel like boxing's a way where you don't feel shame for feeling angry. You don't feel shame for feeling like you need to get a little aggro.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
hit some shit.
Yeah.
So I'm super grateful for it. And it's, so I could see that having both the yin and the yang.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I really want to come watch you guys in person. I always only get to see clips, but I need to watch you actually in person so I can see this.
What it's really like.
The violence come out.
Yeah.
What is something you learned about yourself from boxing?
Ooh.
As that kind of goes into what we were just saying. Like a nice place where you can feel more comfortable with.
I definitely learned, being comfortable with, having strength and using it.
Mm-hmm.
I also learned like I'm stronger than I think.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I started boxing. Is like I mean, I needed it for my career a little bit, but like to actually box, I was like, well, what can I actually do? And I wanted to see like where my limits were. Like, am I okay getting hit? Like for real? Am I okay inflicting pain? Am I okay in these different little aspects that boxing has? And yeah, I just learned a lot about myself. That's kind of like a general term, but
no, for sure. I actually don't know this about you. Which one came first, boxing, or were you already doing stunts? And like, because I also always forget that you're a lot younger than I think.
Yeah.
So,
stunts came first. I mean, the decision to start a stunt career or like work in stunts came first, and then a friend of mine recommended, like, you know, if you want to be good at stunts, it's really good to know actual application, like real life technique,
martial arts.
Exactly. Because once you know the main, like the real shit, like you can make it fake and make it movie. It's hard to do the opposite.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that's why they hire stunts.
Yeah.
They're like, you can make this guy look like a badass, but really you need this guy.
Yeah.
That'll make really him look like a badass. So yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like you said earlier too, like those are two jobs you really can't fake. Because acting is acting, but stunts, like if you lie on your resume, you show up to set,
they'll know. Yeah,
they'll know right away,
immediately.
Okay, when did you start boxing at Lobos?
Last April.
Wow. Okay, like only 2-3 months before me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. I was like,
so that means you should have fights soon.
No. My doctor said I can't when I got my nose job.
Oh. That was one thing I was worried about, actually, my nose.
Yeah.
Because I had just come to peace with like how it was. I'm like, I don't want to break it now.
Yeah. My doctor was like, you can't do that.
You can't do that. Okay.
Like, okay. Well,
doctor's note.
I'm also like, I don't know, but then I watch UFC fights. I'm like, I can do that.
Right? Doesn't look fun.
It looks fun.
But
I'm like, I could see myself getting in the ring and being like, oh, shit. What did I do?
Yeah.
How did I get here?
Yeah, but MMA is so different. I feel like I'm scared of MMA too. Like smaller gloves.
That's true.
Anything goes pretty much.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. And also I'm just like, I'm 110 pounds. I don't know if there's a lot of girls in that. And if there are, I don't know if I want to hurt those girls because they would be like 12 years old. So.
Beat up some kids.
I'm like, I don't need to do that to feel tough. I'm just going to keep paying Eddie to let me hit him instead.
This is wise.
I'd rather just hit a really tall Colombian man instead. So, even though
it's preference.
Then like he'll hit me back sometimes just to like get me used to it. I'm like, oh my God,
stop!
Like,
why did you do that?
I can't believe you did that.
But does it make you angry, like in a way that you use it though? Like, fuck.
No, I'm usually I always just am like, oh shit, that just happened. Or he'll just like hit me in the face.
Yeah,
like,
just a little bit.
Oh no.
When that happens to me, usually I'm like,
bum,
bum, bum.
That must be fun. I don't. I feel more like silly. I'm like, oh, excuse me. My face was in the way. Because I always think he did it on accident. I was like, oh man, was I not supposed to dip? No. Oh, you meant to hit me? Okay, cool. Sweet. Well, who did the cooking in your family growing up?
Both mom and dad. My dad actually owned a restaurant in Germany, and that's where my parents met.
Wow.
So, yeah, all kinds of food. He likes Italian. He'll cook Chinese, American.
Which parent is which? Because this will actually explain to people who are wondering about what Viking Panda is.
Mm-hmm.
You're Chinese and Lafayette?
Mm-hmm.
Which parent is which?
My mom is from Latvia, and my dad is from Hong Kong.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they met in Germany.
Yeah.
Why? What were they doing
I know,
there?
it's like such a beautiful story. Like, so Latvia was under Soviet Union. So when it fell in 91, I think. My mom was like, I'm on the first plane out. Like, I'm out of here. And she just went with some friends to Germany. And then my dad, I don't even know how he got there, was already had a restaurant.
I'm almost more confused.
Yeah, that one's like, we don't know.
Oh, okay.
But he was really interested in languages, and he couldn't understand what language her whole group was speaking. And so that kind of like brought him to talk to her. And now they're 30 years married.
Aw.
I know. It's cute.
That's so cute. Where were you born then?
California.
Oh, okay. When did they come here?
Maybe 95. So like they lived there a few years and then came here.
Okay. Do you speak either language?
I speak Latvian.
Oh.
Yeah. Nice. Conversational with grandparents.
Oh.
But
nice.
no Chinese.
No Chinese.
No.
Yeah. That one seems really hard.
That one's really hard.
Have you been to China yet?
I was there when I was a kid, but I don't remember. So yes and no.
Hong Kong seems cool. I've wanted to do Hong Kong for a minute, especially their street food scene. It seems really good. So.
China food.
Chinese
Hong
food's
Kong.
great.
Yeah.
The Chinese food here is all MSG, so I'd rather wait.
That's true.
Okay, so they both did the cooking. Your dad owned a restaurant.
Yeah, and my mom would do traditional Latvian food, like which is kind of like peasant food.
Yeah, okay.
It's like similar to Russian, but like little meat dumplings that you boil, and then like it's kind of a weird salad, maybe for normal or non-Latvian people, but it's like cucumber, tomato, onion, but with sour cream.
Okay,
so it's like I don't know if that's normal. Just a lot of potatoes, a lot of
just very European,
kind of plain.
Yeah.
But so good.
Yeah. A lot of that stuff that you're saying kind of reminds me of like Hungarian food.
Ooh. Yeah.
Like,
I think there's some similarity.
Yeah. It's actually kind of funny. I didn't know even what Lafia was until I worked for this woman. The first restaurant I worked in was owned by a woman who was Lafian.
Really?
Yeah. And we had this, it was a creperie. She was obsessed with just all of European food, but our restaurant was a creperie, and we actually had a crepe every once in a while called the Latvian Love Bomb. And it was like, God, I forget what was in it. I don't even know if it was Latvian. I think she just called it that because she was Latvian. But that was like the first time I ever heard of Lafia and those like recipes. So
was it?
You're the second person I've met.
Was it a meat pancake by chance?
No, it was a sweet one. That's why it was like, I'm trying to remember what was in it. But
because we definitely have meat pancakes, which are interesting. Or cheese pancakes.
Right. We had like both savory and sweet.
Nice.
But that one was sweet. But now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I don't even know if any of the ingredients in it were Latvian. I think she just called it that.
Respect.
But yeah, she's a dope woman. She was also tall and badass. So I was like, they breed some badass women. Ooh, what was your favorite snack as a kid?
Oh my gosh. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Childhood's hard to remember. I do remember like microwavable popcorn.
Oh yeah, that shit was good.
But like I would lick the inside of the bag.
Butter.
So good. But like fake butter. Like the furthest thing from butter.
Yeah.
Called butter.
I'm not even sure what it is to this day.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
It's okay.
Wouldn't do it again, but I remember really like, I think I would like half microwave the popcorn.
Yeah,
so,
you're like, I just need
just like microwave the butter and some popcorn. That'd
be good. No, that's
pretty terrible.
Good. That was good. Yeah. Again, who knows what that was.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, I feel like 90s babies, there's some stuff out there that's questionable. I think
just
we're all
eating toxic
we're immune to COVID because of the snacks we ate. I would try to eat that stuff, but my mom raised us like eating organic.
That's
so
nice.
It was like friends' houses or like grandma's house. I would just be like,
go crazy.
Lay's potato chips. Whereas at my house, my mom makes us eat kettle chips. And now I'm older. I'm like, oh my God.
The oils.
I won't even eat kettle chips.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
oh, you're traumatized?
No, I just won't eat. I'm like not a snack person really, and don't really. I'm just trying to stay healthy.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, but
as a kid, not as fun.
Yeah, well, as a kid, you're just like, that just tasted so good. What was that?
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite memories from your childhood?
That's a hard question. I really just have a hard time remembering my childhood.
Yeah. I think there's this period in your 20s where you kind of don't remember things. You have to be somewhere like triggered to remember things, because same thing happens with me. If somebody asks me to really take the steps back and tell them my whole childhood, I'm like, I can only tell you maybe one thing from that year and one thing from that year, but I can't tell you everything, or tell you just what I was told growing up. But it'll be like random stuff, and I'm like, oh wow, that happened when I was a kid.
Little pieces will come here and there.
Yeah,
but not all of it's there.
Favorite memory as a child? Well then, is there any really core memory? Like whether it was, did you travel a lot because your parents weren't from here?
Yes, we would go to Latvia every summer.
Okay.
So that was, we were really lucky. We got to do that. So
was there like any summers? Latvian summers, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Visiting grandparents. That's the answer.
Yeah, we'll just say that. I mean, I kind of grew up in a dance studio too, so maybe that's why I don't have so many memories. They're all the same.
Okay. When did you start dancing?
I was 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's
your whole
what
memory.
It is. Yeah. the inside of a dance studio, the smell of the floor, that I do remember.
Yeah. But did you love it?
Yeah.
Or did you feel okay? Because I have cousins that their parents put them into dancing, and then once they turned 18, they stopped. But you seemed to make a career out of it, so I was wondering if it was like a force. You had like a dance mom, or did you have like a mom that was just like, "Oh, this is a good thing for you"? So
more
and you fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Thank God that happened. It could have gone.
Dance moms can really be.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, this could have been a really tragic podcast episode.
Just dive into the trauma.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this is where we're going. What was the best piece of advice you received growing up?
I don't know about growing up, but like maybe in the last few years.
Up.
Yeah, I think we're always growing up.
You're still growing up.
I think everyone's always growing up.
We're always growing up. It can be literally yesterday.
Yeah, we're older than we were. I think surrender and trust has been the most like pivotal advice.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like going with the flow is a lot better. You hear these things, and then until you're faced with those kind of obstacles, you don't recognize how much easier it is to just surrender and trust. Because I've noticed that, like, for sure throughout life, trying to control any situation or control a perception of something from someone else, you just get frustrated.
It's the worst. Yeah. The more you try to control, the worse it is.
The older you get, the less you give a shit about that stuff. So it's really nice when you get to that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
really
I like that.
Changed.
Surrender and trust.
Yeah.
Get that tattooed on my ass.
Do you mind if I jump in really quick and ask a question? Because I feel bad we asked you so many like early childhood memory questions. So
I don't know.
Yeah. Can you talk about like when you first moved out of your house? Because I feel like you learned so much about yourself.
Yeah.
The first time you do that, and you end up like appreciating your parents a lot more than you realized.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So can you talk about like what that journey was, like your first time you got your own place? Maybe it was the roommate, not a roommate, and what was that like for you?
Yeah.
It was.
Did you leave like home right away?
Yeah, after high school, I moved to LA.
Okay.
Yeah, I just quickly learned like to be grateful for like even just like a laundry machine is a luxury. Like and then also like, oh, my mom was doing this all the whole time. Like I should have done this more. I'm like calling my mom for like what kind of what kind of sheets should I buy? What size bed is this? What, like, is it delicates or normal or like what? Like, what's the difference? Like, how much soap? How much this? So, like, little tasks like that. But like making your own schedule or like making sure that you're on schedule for yourself is also a big thing.
Accountability.
Yeah, accountability.
When you start learning accountability, you really grow up fast.
Yeah. You're like, oh shit, I missed this.
Yeah. Like,
oh, that was me. That was
my
my
mom
fault.
Can't call the eye doctor. I have to call for all my
doctor. What do I say?
That. Yeah, my first year of living, I still lived in Humboldt, but just I remember being like, oh, I can't call her to make my appointments.
I think I would call my mom to be like, what do I say?
Right.
She's like, you just ask for an appointment.
Can you please give me a script or something?
Yeah, just tell me what do I do? Yeah.
No, that's a good one. Yeah.
But yeah, quickly learned the appreciation of like, oh, all of this was easier or at home. Or like a lot was done for me. And so
you don't recognize until you're doing it all on your own and you're like, oh shit.
Oh wow.
Why does anybody have kids? You were doing this for me and yourself and my siblings? Why? But yeah. We learn, we grow. It's the coolest thing about being a human.
Yeah. It's the best part.
Who are some people who have helped you grow?
Definitely my parents. Mama, dad, brother.
Yeah.
I would say some mentors that I've had along the way in dance and stunts. And my partner.
Nice. All great people.
All pivotal. Yeah.
What is a life event that shaped you?
I think like every moment is shaping who we are, right? But one that comes to mind is losing.
Really?
Yeah. There's so for dance, there's no like Olympics in dance. So there's like
I just saw the breakdance.
Sorry, I stand corrected. They're also taking that out now.
I know. They're like, oh, we're not going to do that.
Well, it was the first year this year, right?
I have no idea. Sure. I honestly didn't even watch the Olympics. I just saw
highlights
of Australia. And
killing
memes.
It. Super killing it. Anyway, at the time that I was competing, there was like the closest thing to the biggest competition was called the Dance Awards.
Oh, okay.
And you compete and you try to win the title of the best dancer of your like age range. So that's like the dance thing.
It's like, okay.
And so I would go for that, I think 3 times, get so close, get second. And then another thing with best dancer, that title, you get to go around the country the next season with these choreographers and dancers that are teaching and be an assistant. So losing that was like pretty tough because, losing is losing, validly so, you get upset. But from that experience, I learned of like, you can make stuff happen without it being a certain way, if that makes sense. So like, I don't know where I got this email, but I kept emailing this, like, the production email of like, if you ever need an assistant, I'm here, like every 3 weeks on the dot, like saying the same thing. And then eventually they're like, hey, we need someone. Are you free? And so I learned from that, like, losing doesn't mean you're losing. Like, I still got what I wanted. I still got to be an assistant.
Yeah.
Like,
trying is not failing.
Yeah.
And staying consistent is going to get you much farther than any sort of titles.
Yeah, and awards. Like, sometimes they don't even mean anything.
No. Most people that I've seen in any part of entertainment, I feel like nothing changes anytime they've gotten an award.
Yeah.
They're like,
it's just a thing.
They might, get like raise their rates. That's about it. Like, which
is great, but it's not the end all be all to have this title.
No,
which
I feel like being consistent is always going to get you farther, and always trying is. I feel like I admire anyone who tries.
Yeah,
like,
keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah,
you don't need to be the best. You don't need to have the title, but if you are trying and you love what you do,
effort.
That's a lot of respect for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, yay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What is the most important thing to you right now?
Oh, gosh.
Sorry for getting too deep.
Most important thing to me right now?
Mm-hmm.
I think just mindset. Healthy mindset
Yeah.
is everything.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
I take a lot of ashwagandha for that.
Oh, yeah.
But
Took a lot to get there.
Ashwagandha. But yeah, working out, I feel like always helps me stay grounded. That's a good one. Healthy mindset.
Because if you don't have that,
people,
what do you do?
Yeah, no. Energy and like your mindset, it can translate so many things in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always going to be conscious of your energy, of your words.
Yes.
How you are seeing yourself as well as the world and what you're taking in. So I like that one. Yeah. I like that one a lot. What is your cheat meal?
Cheat meal?
Don't say popcorn, butter.
No, not popcorn anymore. Maybe ice cream and chips.
Yeah.
But
at the same time or
like right after.
Right.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Maybe not like ice cream and chips.
I know. When was the last time you weren't on like a regiment? Or, I mean, you seem like you're just like to eat healthy, but has there been any moments lately that you've just like bed rotted and eat some snacks? Because I did yesterday.
Last night, yeah.
I
It was probably we had ice cream and chips.
It's like,
but COVID was the worst. I would have like a huge bag of Takis every night. Like,
yeah, COVID. Well, COVID. Yeah, COVID was the first time I was like, "Am I an alcoholic?" I don't know. COVID didn't count. Anything that happened during COVID,
we can
didn't
just forget about it.
I agree. Yeah. If you could delete one food from the world, what would it be?
One food from the world.
Yeah. Is there
like an actual dish or like
either a dish or just like one ingredient, like just something that you absolutely like, you hear people eat it or you see it at the grocery store and you want to hit someone.
I don't know if I have such a passion for a specific food, but I'm learning all these things about seed oils.
Oh, yeah.
And that makes me want to hit something, actually. Yeah. I'm like, why are we putting
like
this shit in everything?
So many restaurants.
Everything, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like where it doesn't even seeds and it's I don't get bad. It's
so
bad.
Maybe that. Yeah, there's passion there.
Seed oils. Yeah, I think all the restaurants need to stop using seed oils for sure. Wow, that's a good one. I like that one. You have some questions?
Yeah. Just for my own curiosity, what is it about seed oil? I don't know anything about it. Like, why is it bad? Why is it in everything?
I should know more. I mean, I just remember where I worked in restaurants. I mean, it's like your body doesn't process it as well, but it's also really bad
cancers,
for the and
like,
also
why is it in it?
And then we use like palm oil, which is really bad for the environment, which is funny because not funny, but ironic because a lot of, if you look at like a lot of grab and go like vegan food, that's what they use in a lot of their stuff, or like vegan
it
desserts.
Looks healthy.
But then you look at the ingredients, a lot of vegan stuff has palm oil.
Is palm oil the one that hurts the orangutans?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I know about that.
We need
orangutans.
Yeah, they're
so vegan.
Vital.
Wait, how does it hurt them?
I think it's like killing like where they live.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Exactly.
So then they're like, I don't have places.
So that's what was always like ironic because a lot of vegan food has palm or vegan like dishes I see have palm oil in them.
Is it nuts are like that too, right? Like, isn't like mass growing like walnuts and stuff or almonds bad for the environment, and it also kills a bunch of like
and also
small
like
animals.
oat milk isn't really good for you.
Oh no,
oat milk's not good for you. I love oat milk.
Almond milk, I think, is like all these other milks are not good.
So he's got to get rid of milk.
Yeah. Or it's just like people are forgetting that you can have, like, I cook with butter or like duck fat. Butter. That's about it. I don't use oil. Rarely if I'm like just sauteing some veggies in olive oil on like low temperature. If it's high temperature, I'll use avocado oil, but rarely.
Yeah.
It's always butter.
I feel like every like 10 years we learn that something that we used to do every day is killing us and causing cancer. Like, I learned that brake dust causes cancer, and I feel like brake dust, like from cars.
Oh,
and I was like, that's like 50% of the air in LA is is brake dust, like because of all the traffic. So
jeez.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna do about that. Yeah.
That's
Stop
sad.
driving.
Yeah. Just another thing for me to worry about now.
We do have a fan question though, and it's from someone you both know, Eddie Arizola.
Oh God.
He wants to know, in what area have you grown the most in the past year?
Oh,
That's a great. Yeah, I thought that was a great question.
It's a very complex question.
Yeah, we're going deep on this.
I know.
We don't want you to get too comfortable.
No, okay.
Yeah.
So uncomfortable right now. Again, mindset wise, I think my mindset's, I would say in the past year, has really changed, and maybe it's largely a part to boxing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just feel if I were to compare myself to last year, just more comfortable in my skin, more, confident, happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just overall mindset is where I've grown.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. We also actually have a question from my uncle. My uncle is like a massive Star Wars fan.
Oh,
and
love that.
and he's someone who's like, to him, there's no such thing as bad Star Wars. Like anything that's coming out, he's excited.
Okay.
That's a real fan in my opinion, because I've had some controversial discussions because I'm a Star Wars fan.
Oh.
And there are Star Wars fans where we've had those conversations. You're like,
it's only the original trilogy.
Well, I've been on both sides. And you can either look at it from like you can look at it from like, you love Star Wars and you want it to be this one thing, but George Lucas created it as a franchise and it was a business for him. It was something that he loved and created, gave us, but it's not always going to be what it was. Nothing can ever stay what it was.
This is true.
You have to welcome the new, not that, I don't know. So I've had some controversial discussions.
Some heated conversations.
Yeah, and it's like, for each generation, it's something new and meaningful to them too. And you kind of have to like, it's like you should just be happy that your favorite franchise is going on for multiple generations.
That's what I mean. Point. I'm like, I think there's something to love from each thing. Yeah, like even the ones that weren't the best or like the acting wasn't the best, it's still Star Wars. And for us to want to put it in this little box of it needs to stay this way, it needs to only have this formula is kind of, to me, I'm like, that's not a real fan. Or you don't understand movies, you don't understand business. You might just be someone who was alive when the first movies came out, and that's okay. But just go watch those ones.
Yeah,
but don't go on the internet and Reddit and like, I don't know.
Yeah, don't ruin it for other people that like it too.
Yeah.
My uncle has 3 kids, and to him, he's like so excited that he gets to share it with them, and he gets to like bring his kids to the movie. He's like, there's movies he can bring them to. There's TV shows now and there's something for like all ages. Like, like.
Well, that's how my dad was. Like my dad was born in the 70s, so he was a kid when the first trilogy was out, and then me and my brother were kids when Phantom Menace came out, and the prequels came out, and now he has my little brother who's like 14 years younger than me, and he's he has all these new ones, he has Ahsoka, he has The Mandalorian, and then he also has like all those new movies. But he's like showing my brother like all the shows. Yeah. And my dad's such a nerd and loves that. He's like, it's so cool. I get to have all but he had me when he was really young. So it's cool for him to get to do it like in all of the generations.
Yeah.
So. That is cool. Yeah.
So his question to you was that because Star Wars is such this unique phenomenon that's like enjoyed by multiple generations, did you think about that at all when you like got that role that like there's gonna be like there's kids now that are watching you on Star Wars who when they have kids, they're gonna be like, oh, you have to like Ahsoka's my favorite one. You got to watch this.
Right.
No, I did not.
No, you did it.
It's like pretty like exciting though.
Yeah. Oh, so you didn't feel like, okay, well that's good though, because you didn't like feel this pressure of like I gotta like live up to like some unrealistic standard. You did the best you could.
Pretty much. I mean, I felt pressure in a different way. I'm so sorry. I did not grow up with Star Wars. Like,
that's okay.
You're good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody, in advance. I've probably seen like maybe 5 out of the 100 movies. So I felt pressure just being on set because everyone there loves it. Like, breathes it.
Did you meet Filoni?
What? No way.
Filoni's funny.
But that's why, like, he's a fan. So I was so happy when I saw that he was doing Ahsoka and everything else.
And it translates.
Yeah. Him and Favreau. Jon Favreau, too. They're both, like, I feel like they should be in charge of all of them.
Yeah, I feel like Favreau doesn't get enough credit. Like, he basically made Marvel kind of what it is today.
I love him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's even what I'm kind of modeling the whole food truck thing right now.
Oh, yeah, for his Chef. Movie, yeah, where he had that was so good. That was a great movie.
Yeah, he great actor, great writer, great director. Like, yeah, it's like crazy when you see those people because there's a part of you that's like, there's no way you're human. But then at the same time, when you see him like act and stuff and do comedy, you're like, oh, he's so like, I don't know, he is very human. Like, I don't know, it's crazy, but I'm very jealous that you met Filoni.
Yeah. So since you said you didn't grow up with Star Wars, was there like a fandom that was like important to you as a kid, like, or you just never really into
Harry Potter?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen all.
Well, end this podcast, right?
Yeah. Like, you get out.
I think my dad really loved like just Jackie Chan movies, and we would just watch those all the time.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I also don't remember, so maybe there is something that I grew up with that I don't remember. But I think like action Chinese star movies, my dad just loved.
Yeah. Was he kind of the introduction or the thing that sparked you to want to do stunts?
My dad? Or
your
Jackie
dad?
Chan?
Both. Same thing.
Same thing. No, actually, I didn't know it was like a thing, like doing stunts. I didn't know it was like...
Right.
I didn't think that far.
I feel like no one does until you're actually in the movie business. Because there's like even adults that are like,
oh yeah.
What?
They don't do it themselves? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, so I was just on a dance job and someone had mentioned, like, you know, all industries are kind of combined. Yeah. So they were just talking about stunts. I'm like, what is that? That sounds amazing. That sounds fun. That sounds exciting.
Wow.
And that's kind of where my interest is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jackie Chan, the only people I could think of that do their own stunts are Jackie Chan and Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
For legit all of their stunts? Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, Bruce Lee.
Yeah. Rest in peace. But
there's more, but
I heard that I don't know that much about Jackie Chan, but doesn't he not even really know martial arts? Isn't it just like
it's just him
going like that? That's what I've heard, that he's just really good at choreographing.
He does. He's never trained a day in his life. He's just Chinese.
Yeah. This is the first time we put a camera in front of a Chinese guy. And
I like that theory. I think.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
What was Bruce Lee?
Bruce Lee did
like Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah. I'm like, because Bruce Lee was a martial artist,
right?
I think.
I'm like, because karate is from Okinawa, so it's more of a Japanese martial arts. But
karate and Jeet Kune Do, which is like a different. I think it's Chinese. It's like the trapping, like Kung
what
Fu.
What he does. Like, okay.
I don't know. Don't quote me.
Yeah.
I feel like I should know, but I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. You're the Viking panda.
Just fall down, go boom.
You're like, I just know how to hit
and get hit.
Can we talk a little bit about the Viking panda and like, what that name means to you?
Viking panda, it's just like a nickname.
Did Eddie come up with it?
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering, like, I didn't know if that was something you just brought to Lobos or if they gave it to you.
Yeah, I think for my first 2 fights, it's like, I want a nickname, like...
Well, yeah, because then there's Tonka.
Fight. Yeah, there's Tonka, and then like Stephanie's got Toy Breaker, which is cool. She doesn't use it too much, but like
that sounds
like a name.
Sexual.
Oh.
I'm gonna
maybe
bring
that's
that up
your
next
name.
time. That's why I'm like, maybe I'm gonna bring that up next time I see her.
Different industries.
Well, Toy Breaker, aren't you?
Good point. But anyway, yeah, I was like, I want a nickname, and then later we.
I'm trying that. There.
Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found Viking Panda because Latvians have like Viking descent and panda in China.
Yeah.
So Viking Panda.
Yeah, you look like a Viking panda. You're like, I feel like that's the best way to describe your aura.
Viking Panda?
Yeah, like you're like, don't fuck with her, but also she's so cute and cuddly and so soft.
What an honor. I love it.
Oh, who would be your dream boxing opponent?
Maybe me when I sucked.
Oh.
Or like when
just beat the shit out of yourself.
Because I know what she does wrong.
Oh, there you go. You're like,
and she's not as strong as me.
Smoke her.
Yeah.
And she's like a little bit heavier than me. We're the same height. She's not as good. She's not gonna move her head.
It could be awful. I don't like this.
She sounds terrible.
I think what would be fun is you now fighting your future self and past self. That's like a movie.
Yeah.
There's a movie in there.
Write it down.
Right.
That could be scary too. Like your future self for some reason is like 8 feet tall and
like
700 pounds of muscle.
Just roided out.
You're just scared about like what's happening in my future.
Or she's like really bad now.
She's part robot.
Yeah. Oh, that's like really future.
Yeah. Or just like a pacifist and just won't partake in the fight. Just sits there and be like.
You're like almost more scared though when people do that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit. Yeah. She's gonna like. Lasers are gonna come out of her eyes. That'd be scary. Okay, so you're past self.
Yeah.
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 Okay, maybe one last question to wrap up the episode. Something that I always love hearing people talk about. You mentioned a little bit in the beginning of the episode about losing. What do you think is something that you've learned about yourself through losing? Because there's there's that phrase is you either win or you learn. So it's like, losing is something you gotta like just accept. You know, like that happened, or you can like really learn from that situation to get even better next time.
I think now I've learned like through, losing and just living life, like a loss is never a loss. If anything, it's almost like a win. Like losing is winning because you gain knowledge if you learn from it. If you take it as a positive thing and you look at it like, okay, I lost this one, but if you put it into boxing, like, okay, I lost this first one. What do I need to work on? Okay, now I know exactly like things that I need to do. This is why I lost, and I'm going to be 10 times better the next time and win the next 3. Versus like, sometimes it's almost negative if you win the first one. You're like, oh, I'm great. I got this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, perfect. Like lose the next 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, I welcome losing. I think it's a positive thing. We need it to learn. There's no such thing as a bad thing.
No,
it's just a good thing in disguise.
I'm a massive boxing and MMA fan, and one of like everyone likes talking about like, okay, who's the GOAT, and then it's like basically impossible to like really pick. But one of like my made up requirements to be the GOAT is you have to have lost the fight, so we can see how you overcome adversity. Yeah, that's why like. GSP isn't my favorite fighter, but he's who I consider the GOAT because he's avenged every single loss that he's had.
Yeah, I like that.
So he's like, I think he's lost like 4 fights and then has later went back and beat them. Yeah, in the rematch.
Yeah. Wow, that's a really good point.
Yeah. Just because, and then I mean, all like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, they've all lost fights and then have come back just like way better than before.
Right.
So I think it is suffering loss is such an important part of the journey into life and all aspects of who you are.
Closed doors, like missed opportunities, they're all good things.
It's all redirecting you to the right path.
I agree.
Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you.
And where can the fans find you?
You can find me on Instagram at It's Just Chau.
It's just Chau.
Yeah.
And you guys know where to find me. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell us your thoughts and opinions.
Hate mail.
Yeah, she welcomes it, obviously.
And
we'll see you next time.